Good day, I'm Carleen Brown Thompson and this is your JIS News for Monday, March 3. The Governor General, Prime Minister and Leader of the Opposition have called on all Jamaicans to join hands to address the moral crisis facing the country. In a joint statement, the nation's leaders urged Jamaicans to take back the island from the grip of crime and the shroud of negativity. Their call for reflection and reconciliation was issued as the country prepares to observe the Lenten period starting this Ash Wednesday, March 5. In their statement, the leaders lamented that too much of the country's scarce resources have to be spent on crime fighting rather than measures to secure development. The Governor General, Prime Minister and Leader of the Opposition say they stand united in the struggle for Jamaica's peace, prosperity and safety and for the future of our children. 160 farmers from 8 communities in St. Ann and Manchester are to benefit from a $192 million water catchment and greenhouse cluster project. 20 greenhouses are being constructed and a mined-out pit at each site is to be converted into a surface water reservoir to be used for irrigation purposes. The Jamaica Social Investment Fund and the Jamaica Bauxite Institute will carry out the project in partnership with the World Bank-sponsored Rural Economic Development Initiative READY. Agriculture and Fisheries Minister Roger Clark says the project will help to boost domestic crop production, citing growth of 8.5% and 14% over the last 2 quarters.
And with these new additions, the next quarter is going to be way out front. And anytime agriculture grows, the economy grows.
On its constant quest to improve the tourism product, government has approved a $44.2 million project to repair the Harbour Street Craft Market in Montego Bay. The contract has been awarded to Marshall Construction Company. The work is to begin shortly and carried out over 4 months.
Under this contract, repairs will be done to the roof, and there will be installation of new roof sheeting, general repairs, and painting. TPDCO will provide the funding for this project, while the UDC will provide project management and technical services.
The Ministry of Science, Technology, Energy and Mining is embarking on a public education campaign to support its Energy Efficiency and Conservation Program, EECP. Through the EECP, government has already cut energy costs by more than $9 million at 4 public sector entities. Energy Minister Philip Paulwell says the initiative is to help the country use best practices to reduce energy consumption.
The results of the program must be effectively communicated so that these positive energy conservation and efficiency initiatives are fully established in the minds of our people from infancy to adulthood.
The Jamaica Information Service is to partner with the ministry on the 1-year public education campaign titled Ease Up on the Energy, Save Today, Protect Tomorrow.
This will see us rolling out in tandem with what's happening in mainstream media, all the public education material for radio, print and TV.
Education Minister Reverend Ronald Thwaites is insisting that it's important to expose children to science education early in order to help them become more innovative as adults.
It is important, if I step back a minute, that we develop science kits that can be available for all of our primary schools. It must have the practical application, the touch and feel that means so much to our boys and which can give them an interest which otherwise they may find absent in the school system.
Minister Thwaites was addressing the 2nd phase of the Jamaica Diaspora Education Summit held at the Cedar Grove Academy in St. Catherine recently. Cedar Grove is one of several institutions identified for increased student spaces. And finally, their Royal Highnesses Prince Edward, Earl of Wessex and the Countess of Wessex are in the island for a 4-day working visit. They were met on arrival at the Norman Manley International Airport Sunday by several government officials. During their stay in Jamaica, they will participate in activities related to the Duke of Edinburgh Award. The Earl is the trustee of the Duke of Edinburgh's International Foundation and chair of the International Council. On Sunday, their Royal Highnesses participated in the Duke of Edinburgh Cup golf tournament and prize-giving ceremony at the Caymanas Golf and Country Club in St. Catherine. They are expected to leave the island on March 5. And that's it for JIS News today. I'm Carleen Brown Thompson. Thanks for watching.